Hello, my people. Lady Ross here. How y'all doing? To all my new subscribers, you're welcome. And my returning subscribers, you all know I love you. So, guys, guess who came out? Concha Cajega from Spain. Remember, she came and told us everything around here about make mambos? Huh. I just want to put Murad Morelli so y'all guys can hear what he has to say, because he did the research and made the video. So I want y'all guys to hear what he has to say. Yeah, you know that make mambo kid? Yeah, I don't want her to be out here. You know, every time she's out, Meghan is extremely abused by the media, their tabloids. Their comparison and everything, you know, those two are night and day. But because of these people's narcissism, because of their white privilege, entitlement, they think they can compare Meghan Markle with McMambos. So let's listen.
So Concha Cajega is back. She's done a full 40-minute interview to discuss several royal topics, and one of them is in regards to Kate Middleton returning. What she says about Kate is very interesting, to say the least. She has done an interview. It is completely in Spanish, but you can try to translate it. I did, and I got all the cliff notes that you guys don't have to watch the 40-minute video if you guys don't want to. I will link the video in the bio below so that you guys can watch that interview that Concha Cajega speaks on. Now, she says, in layman terms, Kensington Palace have coerced many journalists, and that there was no need for her to do those several things in the past, which I believe, in regards to the farm shop video, the fake Mother's Day photo, taking the blame, and etc. She says what the Buckingham Palace and Buckingham Palace royal family, Kensington Palace, have all achieved is that nobody believes them anymore, and that it was completely, pointless. And that's what CNN said, that they are no longer a trustable source, which is why everything that they release now, we question everything by default. She says that the symbolism of the clothing was very calculated, that it was, in regards to wearing white, it represents purity and innocence and, fragility, and that it was via Natasha Archer, who not only is just a stylist, but she's been promoted to be a personal executive assistant, and has able to cover many things. She also states that the makeup that Kate Middleton was wearing was covering up many things. Don't know what that means. Kind of alluded to many stuff. Concha Cajega said that Kate Middleton looked very sad, that things were going on, that she had dark circles under her eyes, has been very ill, very sick, that there's sadness, and that she is, courageous. She also goes on to King Charles's lip reading when he was entering on his carriage, and what he was saying was, oh my God, why am I crying? And the most likely reason for why he was doing this and being highly emotional was because due to his illness. And other articles have reported on his lip reading, and that is what he was saying in regards to reports. She goes on to discuss the relationship between Kate and William and how it's not in a good state. Only one picture on the balcony of Kate smiling at William. She's very aware and attentive to her surroundings, much like her daughter Charlotte, and that she actually has spent a lot of time alone, and she only shows complicity with her children, not with William, and that William and Kate are having bad issues. Now, this is a good angle to look at this, because the picture of her smiling at William definitely looked forced and presentable to me. Why? To add to that point, there actually isn't multiple angles and pictures of Kate smiling at William. It really is just one. How are there hundreds of photographers, crowds, and etc., but yet there's not multiple pictures of Kate with William in a jubilant way, looking happy, peaceful? There's none of that. It's only one, which was given very much forced, because she is attentive of the crowds and the photographs and etc. Concha also defends Meghan Markle in regards to her jam products being released an hour or two before Kate's comeback. I don't even know why this is a conversation, to be honest with you. And that she states that Meghan is not responsible, the intentions were not bad, and the UK frown upon whatever Meghan and Harry do, And I absolutely agree. They frown continuously, hate them completely, especially Meghan, think that Meghan is a bad house, when we've got a paedophile in the family. Hundreds of photographers, crowds, and etc., but yet there's not multiple pictures of Kate with William in a jubilant way, looking happy, peaceful. There's none of that. It's only one, which was given very much forced, because she is attentive of the crowds and the photographs and etc. Concha also defends Meghan Markle in regards to her jam products being released an hour or two before Kate's comeback. I don't even know why this is a conversation, to be honest with you. And that she states that Meghan is not responsible, the intentions were not bad, and the UK frown upon whatever Meghan and Harry do, And I absolutely agree. They frown continuously, hate them completely, especially Meghan, think that Meghan is a bad person who turned Harry against everybody else when we've got a paedophile in the family.
That part right there.
She also states that, and re-echoes the sentiments that there were emergency meetings 3 weeks ago to talk about Kate Middleton, to talk about the recent appearance, because it was not planned for her to return her trimming of colours. And instead, it was planned for her to return early 2025 after finally finishing treatments, and that there was a sudden emergency meeting. She also somewhat relates this to Prince William meeting with MI6, and that this was somewhat related to Kate's reappearance and etc. Could be. Don't know what that meeting with MI6 was about. Very odd, very suspicious, very weird, but perhaps it was in regards to this. She states that Kate Middleton is not very well at all and very sick, and that Kate was forced to reappear to save the monarchy, and that, the monarchy has a dying popularity, and also echoes Kate's sentiments that this is not an official comeback for Kate Middleton at all, which would make sense because Kate was not at the pantomime event today, whatever the hell that was, and that she won't be at a few more, but that she probably will be at Wimbledon, in my opinion, because Wimbledon is her favourite place to be. Now, Concha might have lost some credibility for a lot of people because she was the one who broke the news that Kate Middleton went into a medically induced coma. Buckingham Palace came out the next day to deny it. Now, that could have still happened, we don't know. Back in February, March, when she was in hospital, wherever she was being treated, she could have fallen into a medically induced coma to perhaps heal better, or maybe for a day or two. She didn't say that Kate fell into a coma and was trapped, or etc. She said that the doctors placed her into a medically induced coma. That could have still happened, guys. We don't know that. But of course, some people are upset with Concha. They feel like, where are your sources? Are people lying to you? I get messages out, through you and etc. Concha has been quite accurate outside of Kate Middleton and other royal sources. If you know about her and what she talks about, she actually has been quite accurate. So she does have a good track record in that instance, but I can see why people think this way. I'm glad that she stood up for Meghan and Harry. Didn't expect that. She also talks about King Charles being very, ill, and the fact that he's not doing well and highly emotional. And it's interesting that Kate was forced to reappear, that it was very last minute, that this is what the emergency meetings were about. Concha did mention that Kate would briefly appear at the troopings like 2 weeks before the UK press was signalling that she was going to do this. Concha definitely said this before. So therefore, I still vouch for her and what she says, and I feel like she definitely does have credibility because she definitely made that point. When Concha made that point, I thought, ain't no way Concha's right. Ain't no way Kate's coming back for a trim of the colours, but she did for a quick reappearance. But this is very important news that, it's not a comeback for Kate. For us, it looks like it is, but it's not. She just came back to do XYZ. She really prioritises the conversation on William and Kate's marriage, and that it's in a complete demise, not doing well. That, even in the car, she was very much alone, looking out the window, looking quite solemn, only there with the children, only happy when with the children, and really much that is it. She wasn't really seen speaking with Camilla. She wasn't seen speaking with Prince Edward's wife. At all. Really, there wasn't much conversation, only speaking and having conversations with King Charles because she has a good relationship with that man for now, and that he tries to keep out of their way, I would imagine. But I do believe that from this whole returning, it was very solemn and sad. I don't believe that she's faking cancer. I know that some people are now beginning to believe this, and that it was more so for cosmetic procedures and reasons. I personally, like I've been saying from the beginning, I don't think that she was dead. I do not think that she's faking cancer or faking some kind of illness to take 6 months off. I personally don't think that. If you guys believe that, some of you believe that, which I've seen comments.
I believe that.
You guys are allowed to believe whatever you wish to believe. This is a public forum. We can agree and disagree on my channel. Absolutely fine. Some people have always said, Mara, you're deleting comments. I do not delete anything. Okay? There are perhaps vulgar words used in your comments, and maybe YouTube, deletes them in regards to their guideline. They have, AI systems involved that can delete and remove stuff. I don't do any of that. I just want to remind you guys that. But I think that her discussion here is very important. I think it adds value to the current circumstance of what Kate is in. I don't think Concha has said anything outlandish about Kate throughout.
Well, I don't know what to believe in, but what I'm just praying, I do not want Kate Middleton out here. I want her to stay where she's at there. Stay in the hiding. And I do not want to see her out here. Not at all. I don't care about her marriage. I don't care about nothing that pertains to those people.
About Kate throughout since her reporting from February, March. Like, I honestly don't think that she has. And she has said that, Kate is very ill, very sick, and that her relationship is in a very bad state, which only makes William look bad in my opinion, because if your wife is this ill, why are you even in a bad state in your relationship? Surely illnesses should pull people together. But every marriage is different, so I feel like my comments don't weigh that much, to be honest with you, because every marriage is different, and also I'm not married, so I don't know about the gravitational pull up and down and how volatile a marriage can really be. So make of this what you will. Do subscribe to the channel, click that button.
Yeah, go subscribe to Murad Morelli. He has juicy stuff most of the time. I don't know what to make up of all this stuff here. And I do not believe Kate is sick. I do not believe she was in a coma, medically induced coma. And I do not believe she also had a facelift, because guess what? I saw the legit picture of hers. Like, she looks like this. Well, but I got makeup on. She looks normal on one of the pictures from the Getty Images. There's a few of them. I posted them on my page here. She looks like a normal people. Yeah. Well, not normal people. She looks like the way she used to look before. With all the droopy eyes. Well, the juicy face that she's got. She got geriatric face. And that face is still there. Yeah, it's a problem because people haven't seen her for too long, and whoever made those pictures, polish them. You know them people be polishing them pictures? Those people have high quality cameras. They got those high quality cameras, and they used to say, I forgot the word, but it's just they Photoshop. It's not really Photoshop. Maybe that's the word. Probably that's the word. Y'all drop that word down here. The word where you make the pictures, the videos, and not the videos. The pictures, you polish them and make them look like they look cute when they're really not no cute. Yeah, and the dress she did have on kind of complimented everything. You know, sometimes when you wear certain kind of dresses, just make you look good. That's why y'all think that she had a facelift, but the droopy eyes and all the drooping weird stuff and all those lip line and everything for a 42-year-old. The 42-year-old don't have that much line on them faces. Okay? But seeing is going to make you look a certain way. Do you see how Bulliam looked like? You seen the WikiLeaks face? Look at him. And attack him with his Uncle Eddie. Him with Uncle Eddie look exactly the same. I found this redneck. He cracked me up. He's calling all these people like different names. Let me try playing him so we could laugh a little bit. Yeah, and people, y'all keep saying like we shouldn't be talking about Kate Middleton. Everything that Kate Middleton is doing out there, it's public. So therefore, we're going to talk about it. Had everything that is happening with Kate was happening to Meghan Markle, I'm telling you, the sister wouldn't be sleeping right now. She would not even be alive anymore, just because of what people would say about her. So therefore, we're going to talk about Kate Middleton. Yeah, and everything she does has to do with Meghan Markle, according to the tabloids. They compare those two. They will just put those two against each other. And I believe Kate Middleton that certifies everything that those people do. Because if she didn't want them to play that nonsense, she has direct contact with those tabloids. She would call them, tell them, please do not put me against my sister-in-law. But she doesn't do that. That's why we're going to talk about her until she disappears forever. So let's listen to this funny guy here. He cracked me up. He's on TikTok. I'm gonna tell you his name. The redneck's name is Volunteer Texan. So listen, Mama T is the
royal
queen.
family ain't nothing but another white trash trailer park family. Now hear me out, all right? Every trailer park has a Mama T, and Mama T don't do shit except sit around and smoke Misty Menthol 120s and watch The Price is Right all day. But for some reason, everybody always comes to Mama T with their problems, even though she ain't gonna do a damn thing about it. Then you got Mama T's favorite grandbabies, Colton and Connor. Now, if you ask Mama T, Colton and Connor can't do no wrong. They both good boys, joined the Army straight out of high school, but they joined for different reasons. Colton wanted to bring honor to his family, and Connor just wanted to get the hell out of the trailer park. And before Connor could get out the trailer park, he met his old lady, Stacy. Now, shortly after Connor and Stacy got married, Connor managed to get out of the trailer park, and the rest of his family absolutely hates Stacy for it because they're certain that she had something to do with it. Then you got Colton's wife, Jenny, or Jenny Lynn, who, despite being the favorite daughter-in-law of the family, they still really don't like her. They're just nice to her because she's the one that's around them most often. Then there's Colton and Connor's parents, Roy and Allison. Roy and Allison pretend to be a happy couple with the perfect marriage. But everybody knows that Roy is actually screwing around on Allison with Linda, what lives 2 trailers down. Until one day Roy gets tired of the charade and he goes and asks Mom and T for help, and they come up with a plan to cut Allison's brake line so that Roy is free to marry the homewrecker. We can't forget Uncle Andy now. Every white trash trailer park family has that weird, creepy uncle that makes everybody just a little bit uncomfortable, but nobody quite understands why until one day he's accused of some shady shit. A royal...
You know, he gave every single person in that house their name. Yeah, every single person. So let me go back and I'm going to tell you who's who. So...
Family ain't nothing but another white trash trailer park family. Now hear me out, all right? Every trailer park has a Mama T. And
Mama T is the Queen Elizabeth II.
T don't do shit except sit around and smoke Misty Menthol 120s and watch The Price is Right all day. But for some reason, everybody always comes to Mama T with their problems, even though she ain't gonna do a damn thing about it. Then you got Mama T's favorite grandbabies, Colton and Connor. Now, if you ask
Colton and Connor, William and his brother and Prince Harry.
Mama T, Colton and Connor can't do no wrong. They both good boys, joined the Army straight out of high school, but they joined for different reasons.
Colton and Connor.
Colton wanted to bring honor to his family, and Connor just wanted to get the hell out of the trailer park.
So now Connor is Harry. He decided to get the hell out of the trailer park.
And before Connor could get out the trailer park, he met his old lady, Stacy.
So Stacy's Meghan Markle.
After Connor and Stacy got married, Connor managed to get out of the trailer park, and the rest of his family absolutely hates Stacy for it because they're certain that she had something to do with it. Then you got Colton's wife, Jenny, or
Colton's wife is Jenny, and that Jenny is Kate Middleton.
Jenny Lynn, who, despite being the favorite daughter-in-law of the family, they still really don't like her. They're just nice to her because she's the one that's around them most often. Then there's Colton and Connor's parents, Roy and Allison.
Colton and Connor's parents, that's Diana and Prince Charles.
Roy and Allison pretend to be a happy couple with the perfect marriage. But everybody knows that Roy is actually screwing around on Allison with Linda.
Roy is King Charles, and Allison is Princess Diana, and now comes Camilla.
What lives 2 trailers
down. So Camilla
down.
is Linda.
Until one day Roy gets tired of the charade and he goes and asks Mom and T for help, and they come up with a plan to cut Allison's brake line so that Roy is free to marry the homewrecker. We can't forget Uncle Andy.
Roy is free to marry the homewrecker. That's Camille. And then they can't forget. Let's go back.
Allison with Linda, what lives 2 trailers down, is Roy and Allison. Roy and Allison pretend to be a happy couple with the perfect marriage. But everybody knows that Roy is actually screwing around on Allison with Linda, what lives 2 trailers down. Until one day Roy gets tired of the charade and he goes and asks Mama T for help, and they come up with a plan to cut Allison's brake line so that Roy is free to marry the homewrecker. We can't forget Uncle Andy now. Every white trash trailer park family has that weird, creepy uncle that makes everybody just a little bit uncomfortable, but nobody quite understands why until one day he's accused of some shady shit.
This Raw family sounds exactly what this guy describes. The trailer trash. And Connor Harry decided to leave that trailer park. This is his second joke about these people.
Group that have the same message.
Well, I weren't planning on it, but just when I was starting to think the royal family couldn't get no more white trash than they already are, I find out about the secret sister. Like, did y'all know these 2 sumbitches had a sister? I didn't know these 2 sumbitches had a sister. I learned it from Pookie's baby mama Tracy's cousin Eileen what overheard a conversation down at the pool hall. And this girl is a dead fucking ringer for their mama. She looks just like Allison. Only problem is, that ain't Allison's baby. That's that home-wrecking whore Linda what lives 2 trailers down's baby. And y'all can't tell me that ain't karma right there after her and Roy done conspired to climb up under Allison's car with a set of 10 snips and cut them brake lines. And now her baby done growed up to look exactly fucking like Allison. Every time she looks at her daughter, she gonna have to remember what she done to that woman. That's karma right there. But I don't know. Y'all drop a comment, tell me what y'all think. Don't forget to hit like, share, and follow.
Now he's making joke about Camilla's daughter, Laura. He says that is karma, and that is Prince Charles' child. You know, I've heard this rumor before. Someone say that Laura actually is Prince Charles' child. It's not Packerball's kid. Packerball's kid is the guy, the dude. And that dude looks like a Packerball. But this Laura, she kind of looks like a Camilla to me. But she could well be Charles' child. You know, that guy has a lot of money saved for these kids. So, tell me that ain't his daughter. You know, them people so trailer trash dirty. This guy really knew how to put it together. Yeah, he really knew how to make fun of them people. There are trailer
Well,
trash.
I weren't planning on it, but just when I was starting to think the royal family couldn't get no more white trash than they already are, I find out about the secret sister. Like, did y'all know these 2 sumbitches had a sister? I didn't know these 2 sumbitches had a sister. I learned it from Pookie's baby mama Tracy's cousin Eileen what overheard a conversation down at the pool hall. And this girl is a dead fucking ringer for their mama. She looks just like Allison. Only problem is, that ain't Allison's baby. That's that home-wrecking whore Linda what lives 2 trailers down's baby. And y'all can't tell me that ain't karma right there after her and Roy done conspired to climb up under Allison's car with a set of 10 snips and cut them brake lines. And now her baby done growed up to look exactly fucking like Allison. Every time she looks at her daughter, she gonna have to remember what she done to that woman. That's karma right there. But I don't know. Y'all drop a comment, tell me what y'all think. Don't forget.
Well, he thinks this Laura looks like a Princess Diana. Maybe, but I don't think so. She kind of looks like a young Camilla to me. Yeah. That Laura kid, y'all need to start looking at her. I'm going to look for that other video where this guy was talking about Laura being Charles' child. Guys, Prince Harry, we're waiting for spare two. Spill the beans. Spill the beans, brother. So here, this Englishman is telling us, like, apparently in royal family, if you have you left a will for your whatever, your children, they won't tell y'all guys how much the person left. But if anyone else, if you and myself do leave our will for our children, guess what? It's gonna be subject matter, except when you're royal. So let's listen to this guy.
The royal family are the only family in the UK to have their wills sealed from public inspections, which means that the will has to be kept secret from the public. You can't know the contents, you can't know the value. Most families in the UK, if you die and you leave assets to your loved ones, your will is open to public inspection. That's so that people who might be beneficiaries can find out, and it's so that whoever you've entrusted to execute your will after you've died can't run off with the money. So it's a standard part of British law. However, the only family in the country that is routinely exempted from it is the royal family. It's the Windsors. But this is only one of the ways in which the royal family is pretty secretive about its private wealth. So we've been writing about issues to do with the royal family for about 3 years, and we've been specifically investigating their private wealth for about 6 months. We think that the family is worth ultimately about £1.8 billion as a result of public money. And every time we tend to ask these questions, their responses have tended to be, that's none of your business, or that's not something we'd answer, kind of general no comment. The reason why that's quite unusual is because they're not private like any other family. Their wealth is derived from their public roles. But finding out how wealthy they are as a result of their public roles is extremely hard. Where does all this leave us? The king is the head of state, and he's meant to reflect the country and its values and 21st century Britain. The monarchy was kind of designed in the 19th century in its current form and hasn't really changed an enormous amount since then. There's going to be a tricky question to answer about whether a family that won't answer questions about its wealth can seriously be said to represent a modern, transparent and accountable democracy. But what do you think? Did you know?
Well, with all that being said, so we don't know exactly how much was left for Prince Harry, because that's the rule, the law in the UK. The royal family cannot expose their will out here in the public, like how much whatever was left for this or the other. Well, I just wish that yeah, I'm hoping everything that was left for Harry comes to him, because well, it's not public matter, but we know something is there because it was in one of the solid documentaries. Or maybe I read it in one of the books. I don't know, something. No, it wasn't documentaries around here. These people's books that I've ever read, I read Princess Diana's book and Despair. I haven't read like lots of those other people's book. I'm looking for Charles' book. The book he wrote in 1978. That's what I need to see. What was written in that book about your father, Prince Philip?
Being recycled. You can see it's actually from 2023, but it's being recycled over the last few days. There's something going on. The Kensington Palace now feel it's a good thing for everyone to start having a pop at Kate again. So basically this is saying that Kate agreed not to see the Queen before the Queen passed away, just to have a pop back at Meghan. Now, to be honest, I'm in the middle. Half of me believes that she'd do that. Half of me believes that she'd say to Kensington Palace, I'm not going to be a pawn in your game. I don't know where I am, so I'm going to stick in the middle. But what I'm saying to you is, it's a year old. Why is it being recycled? Is this something to do with Kate's disappearance? Are they trying to remove any sympathy for Kate in advance of the next announcement? And we all know what we think the next announcement will be. What do you think? Comments are open.
When it first came out that Meghan had made Kate cry, people didn't question that. The black woman has made the white woman cry. And then years later, we find out the opposite was the case. And now people are questioning Meghan. instead of accepting it as they did Kate several years ago. It's racism. You can see the difference in how they've been treated. It's obvious to me.
Morning, happy Saturday, and the last one for today. Yes, I'm not in white. I know it's freaking everybody out. It's a change of scene, and yes, I've managed to get the green screen back, so it's all good. Big love to all new subscribers. Hint, hint, you might want to subscribe to the channel. This piece of press garbage is being recycled. You can see it's actually from 2023, but it's being recycled over the last few days. There's something going on. Do Kensington Palace now feel it's a good thing for everyone to start having a pop at Kate again? So basically this is saying that Kate agreed not to see the Queen before the Queen passed away, just to have a pop back at Meghan. Now, to be honest, I'm in the middle. Half of me believes that she'd do that. Half of me believes that she'd say to Kensington Palace, I'm not going to be a pawn in your game. I don't know where I am, so I'm going to stick in the middle. But what I'm saying to you is, it's a year old. Why is it being recycled? Is this something to do with Kate's disappearance? Are they trying to remove any sympathy for Kate in advance of the next announcement? And we all know what we think the next announcement will be. What do you think? Comments are open.
I don't know if I really understand what the guy really said. Well, English people opening the Pandora box here.
You needed another reason to abolish the royal family, and let's face it, there's plenty. King Charles is secretly profiting from the assets of his deceased citizens. What do we mean by this? Well, the assets of the deceased are secretly being used to upgrade a commercial property empire managed by the King's hereditary estate. It's estimated that £60 million has been collected by the duchy from people who died without any will or next known of kin under an archaic system dating back to the days of feudal England. And that is modern Britain for you. Now, it's been claimed after deducting costs that the money is donated to charity. However, documents reveal that only a small percentage of this plunder actually goes to charity, and the rest is used to secretly finance the renovation of properties owned by the king and rented out for profit. Because a man worth reportedly $2.3 billion definitely needs the money of the seized people to keep living his incredibly privileged life, more than, say, the 4.2 million children currently surviving in poverty. What's even more grim is that several of the people whose assets were sent to the crown were living in rundown properties or social housing. That money should be spent to ensure that more people can live a better quality of life, not just a privileged few like the King of England. Now, apparently the king is U-turning on this, but let's face it, that doesn't matter. We've seen the true extent of their greed. They don't give a monkey's about you. So if you do want to get angry about a family on state benefits, well, you know where to start.
Yeah, just the compilation of the English people telling the truth around here. We're all listening together.
Paid by the duchy. They don't pay corporation tax. They don't pay capital gains. It's run on completely different rules. Incidentally, and they're given a massive state advert on Saturday. Oh, William, let's just Google them. Oh, Andy sells jam. Harry and Meghan have to take every little moment they can, clutching at straws, because they're subject to the entire heft of the American tax system, and they don't have a state parade funded by us in which to tout their wares. I can't believe you're indignant.
Do you think when they left to find freedom, that it would constitute flogging dog biscuits?
Well, is there a Rizzler paper between organic honey and jam and dog? I'd say you're being doggish.
Well, there's one difference.
Frankly, you're being doggish.
There's one difference, which is that the other royals you've mentioned do their duty. They do their shift. They do hundreds
So does Harry. He rocked up for Invictus and his dad didn't have time to say well done.
That's a duty to his own brand.
No, duty to service. That's a charitable act.
Nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it.
Oh, Piers, you're so disingenuous. Do you know you're all right on Kate? You hold it together just, and then you disintegrate into some kind of slathering idiot, imbecile, dare I say, when it comes to the Sussexes.
I'm not slathering.
You don't judge by the same standard.
I just find them a constant embarrassment.
But then don't.
Jam, 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 jammy, jammy, jam, 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 jam. Well, this one here doesn't really sound fun.
Harry and Meghan, who were under attack from a couple of neo-Nazis, but they attacked their son. They attacked Archie. 38-year-old and a 34-year-old both faced jail after being found guilty of encouraging acts of terrorism on Friday, following a trial at Kingston Crown Court. One of them described Archie as an abomination that should be put down. in the podcast which the pair used to voice their hatred of mixed-race marriages. It's received some coverage. I found some coverage on Sky News. I couldn't find much anywhere else. I just thought I'd mention it to you and leave you wondering why that might be. Why your, favourite chroniclers of Harry and Meghan's lives have elected to leave this chapter out of their usually constant wall-to-wall coverage.
So I've been wondering the same thing. Where are all these royal reporters, the one who have sources into Harry and Meghan's life, who always seem to have an opinion or say that they know what's going on in their marriage? Why are they not talking about this? For example, Piers Morgan. Why isn't Piers Morgan talking about this? Oh no, Piers Morgan is busy. Piers Morgan has found himself a new victim. No longer needing to bash Meghan Markle, he is now going against Barbie. His misogynistic ass thinks that there's not enough male representation in the Barbie movie. Whereas Good Morning Britain, they love to talk about every non-story about Harry and Meghan. Why are they not talking about this? Why are they not covering for days and days as they do every time Meghan Markle steps out of the house? Where is this sad little man whose sole career revolves around Meghan Markle? Why is he not talking about this? I mean, this is newsworthy. And the Daily Mail, who apparently thinks that it's newsworthy to have Meghan Markle hiking on their front pages, but apparently this news is not worth covering. Well, they did cover it in some obscure page of their newspaper, but no, this story, this is front page cover. This is what sells, not the real news. But my biggest question is, where is this guy? Where is this supposedly devoted, doting father who only wants what's best for his child? Where is this guy who all the royal supporters and all the royal family supporters say that he was an amazing father and that he was always there for Harry? Where was he when his son needed him to step up to the plate and condemn these kinds of language being used about his...
You were in charge of royal protection. How would you characterise the threats that Meghan and Harry received?
Well, disgusting and very real. I've talked publicly for many years about the threat of extreme right-wing terrorism in this country. I've often been misquoted as taking my eye off the ball, as though I think that that was the biggest threat. I've never called it the biggest threat, but it was the fastest growing. And my wonderful friend and counterpart at MI5 will tell you exactly the same thing, that when I started in CT in 2015... taking my eye off the ball, as though I think that that was the biggest threat. I've never called it the biggest threat, but it was the fastest growing. And my wonderful friend and counterpart at MI5 will tell you exactly the same thing, that when I started in CT in 2015... Counterterrorism, it was about 6% of our total workload. Certainly when I left 15, 16 months ago, it was over 20% of our workload.
But there were many serious, credible threats against Meghan, were there, emanating from the far right?
Absolutely. If you'd seen the stuff that was written and you were receiving it, the kind of rhetoric that's online, if you don't know what I know, you would feel under threat all of the time.
So you were convinced that there was a genuine threat to Meghan's life on on more than one occasion, on several occasions?
Absolutely. We had teams investigating it. People have been prosecuted for those threats.
Let's go back to the English exposing their own king.
Journalist, I know. Charles says to a woman I know, a journalist I know, he says, "Where are you from?" She says, "Manchester." "You don't look as if you're from Manchester." The Prince Philip, I met him at the Royal Shakespeare Company because I was a governor. I'm standing with my husband. He passes us by, he comes back and he looks at my husband and he says, "Is she yours?" They are full of it. And Meghan had to survive it. When the film...
I think the context and the thrust of the thesis is really that the monarchy represents and embodies a kind of racism in Britain. And, I mean, that is true. I mean, the royal family is a family of white inherited privilege. The monarchy, is built on the profits of empire. I mean, these are the facts which perhaps people don't want to talk about. But actually, Harry and Meghan, and yes, it's, it's celebrity, there's pictures of, you know, Archie and the kids and all of that. But actually, that all aside, there's some really quite significant, broader questions and challenges to the monarchy. And so I really don't think it is necessarily that the palace so far have got off relatively scotch-free. I think in many ways that's a more corrosive and much more sustained challenge, which I think is really going to be very difficult to answer, because it questions really the purpose and the place of the monarchy in progressive British society.
Today we're just listening to English people exposing their own people.
Shut us down. It's an invasion. She's mixed race, she's American, she's a divorcee, actress. Those are 4 ticks. No member of the royal family, the senior members, ever thought they would see having to be ticked when it came to Harry's bride. All the things that frightened the royal family have suddenly arrived on their doorstep. I can hear Diana laughing now. Meghan's marrying into a family which has, to put it mildly, a dodgy track record on race. It's not Meghan Markle's problem, it's their problem. Here you are dealing with people like Princess Michaela Kemp and others who have a frankly not very impressive record when it comes to talking about matters of race. They're going to have to wake up. It's not Meghan Markle's problem, it's their problem. They all play up to their stereotypes. You've got Prince Philip, who's very crusty, formal, and pretty dismissive. Once said to a lady wearing a dress with a zip down the middle, I suppose if I pulled down that zip, I'd get into an awful lot of trouble. So Meghan, don't wear a dress with a zip. Edward's a bit boring.
And then, of course, there's Princess Anne, who is very much her father's daughter.
She can be very frosty. She can.
In the voice that you heard right now, there was Piers Morgan and Diana's butler. What's his name? They're exposing their royal family themselves. And then when we say it, they block us. So we're going to just let them tell y'all, guys. We're going to let them expose your racism by themselves. Thank you, TikTok. What is this? TikTok is called Ernie 4929 for Jess. So that's the name on there. So that's where you getting all this, the compilation of all the racism exposed by them white people. You ain't on me. Okay? So let's continue.
If William misbehaved, which is possible because those Windsor men are not renowned for their fidelity, I think that Kate would turn a blind eye. She wanted this marriage more than anything. If William misbehaved, which is possible because those Windsor men are not renowned for their fidelity, I think that Kate would turn a blind eye. She wanted this marriage more than anything.
That's Ingrid C-word. Can you imagine? This is what the royal biographers think about Kate Middleton. Wadey Katie. I don't know. You know, when you are in some terrible marriage, you will never be at peace. And before you know, you're going to depart from this world before your age. It's not working. Rose Hanbury is winning. Brother.
It's quite clear the British press had a vendetta against Meghan Markle from the beginning.
I disagree. Not from the beginning.
Let me say this to you. 8 days after Meghan and Harry went officially public, 8 days, that's when Harry had to put out a statement saying there was misogyny and there was racism in the reporting of the British public. 8 days. So if you're not saying not from the very beginning, so what? So for 7 days they were okay, but by day 8 they turned.
The way the British people celebrated their wedding.
Not the people, the British press. Not the people, British press were against her. And Harry made that statement after 8 days of them officially dating. They had the writings on the wall.
Every right-minded person here, as rational as we are, you have to be able to look
and see the way in which Meghan Markle dominates the news. 2 weeks leading up to the Queen's death. Were we talking about the Prime Minister? No, the top story on various newspaper websites, on programmes on this channel, was Meghan Markle, Meghan Markle, Meghan Markle. We had a new Prime Minister. That level of scrutiny, people of our generation are watching these programmes, reading these papers and going, what could it be? What could it be? And we know the answer.
Should give her.
David,
You heard it. English people keep talking. And then YouTube comes around here deleting our stuff and sending us all the emails. I guess with these receipts from the English, their people talking, they're probably going to keep my videos up on here. Well, let's continue with Brits. Not coming from my mouth. Let's continue.
Well, with friends like Tom Bower in your life, royal biographer, who needs enemies? His latest gem of wisdom after, if you remember, basically outing Charles as an absolute racist by saying that he didn't like to go to African countries. His latest gem is confirming to the British public that if the British working family want to succeed, they have to eliminate anyone that looks better than them. And obviously, at the moment, the team that looks better than the working British royal family is the modern-day James Bond, Harry, and of course, his wife, Meghan. This kind of, for me, this kind of absolutely personifies the real view of the British royal family. Because I'll tell you what, this Tom dude, he's so close to the royal family. He gets snippets of information before anybody else. He's got direct access to King Charles. He knows a lot of people that work for the royal household. If he's saying their game plan is to get rid of Harry and Meghan, obliterate the team that make you look bad, rather than improve your own performance, there's a thought, hey? There's something in it. He's got that information about their strategy from somewhere. Ugh, this stuff just drives me mad. If the British working royal family focused on their own stuff, got their story, act, desires, objective, and life's missions together, you know what I'm saying, right? That's all they need to do. Get their own performance sorted, forget about anybody else. Comments are open.
Did you all hear what the Minister of Hacks said? Those words came from Tom Bower's mouth. And that's yeah, we all know who that Tom Bower is. And that kind of threat, I don't know. That kind of threat is scary. That is some kind of serious allegation. You know what that guy says most of the times? And I'm going to tell you, the king does send him to tell Harry, to send those messages to us. He sent him to tell us that he didn't like our culture, and neither did he does he like going to black Commonwealth countries. He said it, point blank. And right now here, what he's saying about Harry and Meghan, these guys need to take this serious. Harry, Meghan, take these words here seriously. Yeah. And any kind of threat should definitely be taken seriously on this planet here. I don't care where it's coming from. Especially coming from these powerful people. I would sue these kind of people. I don't know how the laws are in that country where you can just threaten anyone like that and you are free. That won't fly here in America. No. Not at all. Let's continue with our English people.
We go further. This is a privately leaked WhatsApp conversation with a former Tory friend. The remarks about Prince Harry's fiancée, claiming that black actresses entry into the royal family would pave the way for a black king. During this shocking tirade, you claimed that you would never have sex, and I find this word hard to say out loud, but I'm going to say it in the context of what it was. You would never have sex with a Negro. You described black people as ugly. You suggested that Meghan would taint the royal family because she is mixed race. I mean, you just don't sound like a very nice person.
It doesn't sound very nice, no. There's a lot in there, what you said. Meghan Markle, I think my comments about her were disgusting. They were meant to shock, and they were private, and I never intended them to be put in the
But at that point, you were in the public eye.
No, I wasn't.
At no point. So have you tempered what you said because you are in the...
So this is what these people say about us behind the closed door. So that's why I would never be hypocrite. If I have anything to tell you, I'll tell you right now here. Right here. In your eyes. I ain't gonna go behind nobody. So this woman thought that she was just writing a WhatsApp message. And I don't know who she is. She's probably one of them tabloids. And guess what? Somebody found the text. And they're reading it on the national TV in the UK. Why not just say it in the public? Why are you scared? Is there any black person who really want to hang out with you, girl? Please. You know some of them lizards? They look flat like an ironing board. Please leave me alone. Now, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. I do not want to say lots of stuff here. Y'all know my mouth.
Yet a year after joining the royal family, some of the criticism is still going strong.
I don't think there's been anything quite that vicious about any member of the royal family before.
Everything, I mean, from the sublime to the ridiculous, like even talking about clutching her bump too enthusiastically.
I try to work it out what it is about her that irritates people. And what have you come up with?
I think maybe it's because she's American, and maybe we feel that Harry should have married an English rose.
In fact, a few months after the wedding, the tabloid...
I think...
Yeah, they wished well Harry was married to one of their daughters there, but it didn't work, people. And y'all not been hanging out with your cousins, that would probably be a different story. I'm just saying, inbreds. Okay, to finish up with everything today, with a compilation of all the racism that we heard around here, we're going to listen to Piers Morgan. He went bananas on Samantha Markle and the Thomas Markle all combined. All them racists turning against each other. I like it always when that happens. Yeah.
Did you have to pay to interview her this morning?
Well, she had the audacity to say that this whole business with Thomas Markle, Meghan's father and her father, obviously, was down to media vultures. You know, we had made him stage the pictures. We had made him take a big check from paparazzi. We had made him basically sell out his own daughter's wedding. And I immediately went, I'm not having that. I'm sorry. No. And actually, especially not from you, Samantha Markle, who's just changed her name back to Markle so she can truly cash in on this. So I just found myself saying, actually, when it comes to vultures, you're the vulture. And she is. And I'm afraid Meghan's family is littered with people who have been appalling.
I'm gonna stop it right there. All right, my people, please subscribe to Isabella Black's channel, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to all these friendly channels. Please share my videos, guys. We need to get some subscribers on here. I'm telling you, it's not really looking good on my channel. I'm not getting subscribers. I'm not getting views. All those combined. You know, we can work all together to fulfill this mission here, so we could get a bunch of people watching these videos. And please like them videos, because you know what YouTube is saying. I'm saying lots of bad stuff around here. Apparently, I'm doing something that they do not like, and they do not like us to fight back. They do not want us to expose the racism towards our sister, and they do not want us to talk about anything that's happening to the black people around this planet. So y'all guys, anytime you watch my videos, make sure you like it, and please also make sure to share my videos around, so we could keep this channel rolling. All right, people, I'm going to talk to y'all guys tomorrow. I'll come back with more juicy stuff. So please, drink some water. The weather's kind of dry out here. I tell you, I got a headache right now. So promise you going to drink your water. 8 cups a day. Lydia Washington, Church Nelly, I do appreciate you all guys for promoting my channel and promoting all the Sussex friendly channels. I appreciate y'all, the ladies on there, on D Mwango, all of you there, the moderators, Sheila, I do appreciate you. There are a few of y'all there. Talk to y'all guys.